What a weekend. And I tell you what, you know his name. It obviously has to be Justin that wins LAN for NRG. Josh, what do you think about last weekend?
I'm amazed. The first thing I want to point out is what happened to Reciprocity. They lost to Space Station Gaming, which isn't an easy match to win. They beat the Three Sins, expected, then lost to Pittsburgh Knights. Very
In a
disappointing.
sweep.
I put them down to win it. I put them down to win first place against the NRG. So, very disappointed they got knocked out pretty much straight away.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then,
The Space Station game was it's not a guaranteed win because Space Station was pumped on day one. Like they were really hyped. So it was like,
I was impressed by Dignitas. Dignitas did really
yeah,
well.
Dig did do really well.
Beat the Three Sins, then beat Pittsburgh Knights. Something Reciprocity couldn't do. Then they beat Space Station Gaming.
Yeah.
Again, something Reciprocity is wet Space Station Gaming as well, I will mention. And then they nearly beat Renner Vitality, which was a 7-game thriller.
If they beat Vitality,
And I think they could have won it. It's just their shooting accuracy at times wasn't there.
if they beat Vitality, not even gonna lie, I genuinely think that NRG
They could
wouldn't have won that game, that series. Sorry, I don't think they would have won that.
But they did so well. I put them down to lose them, but maybe a bit expected. Then they beat Pittsburgh Knights. Went kind of crazy when they did that. Especially, it was nearly a reverse sweep. Pittsburgh Knights winning the first and third game, being 2-1 off, and then Dintos winning a low-scoring series. And then they swept the Space Station Gaming. Team Reciprocity lost to Space Station Gaming. Pittsburgh Knights lost to Dignitas. So that just shows how well Dignitas did. And they came in as, I think it may have been 4th seed from the EU. Yeah, they came in as 4th seed.
And that was really the question though, wasn't it? Because you came to week 5,
Yeah.
They went on a hot run through to in regionals as well. It was the question of will they turn up on LAN? And oh boy.
Yeah, and they did turn up.
Yeah,
go to you now. What do you want to point out?
Garrett, honestly, you deserve this. I just want to say that Garrett has deserved this. He's been there every single time. And he's so close.
Every single LAN, ever since season 1. Ever since using Kings of Urban. From Kings of Urban to NRG, and NRG, and they've won LAN.
And they came so close in season 5.
Yeah.
And, if they didn't win it this season, sorry, I don't think they would win it. I genuinely don't think if they didn't win it this time, I don't think they would have ever won it. Garrett.
I'm being honest, commiserations for Renner Vitality. They did so well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They lost to NRG in a 5-game thriller. They lost to NRG again in a 7-game thriller.
If
each series went the length.
And
honestly, I don't think it could have been a better game. Trading goals, forward and backwards.
And again, I say it again, if Vitality had won that Group A match, again, I don't think NRG would have won.
Do you think if NRG played Dignitas, do you think they would have won in the out of 7 games?
I don't think they would have. I don't think.
You don't? You think it would have been a all-European final? And then again, saying of how NRG won, that's only the 3rd time in RLCS history North American teams won. Europe's won 5
They're the
times.
only team this season to win 2 LANs.
And they only lost, I will point out, they only lost 1 game this season to Rogue. So if they beat Rogue in the season, in the league play, then they would have had a completely perfect league play, a completely perfect season.
Yeah. So something that Dignitas managed to do, but clearly they didn't.
Yeah, I think we're going too much over energy. I think you should switch it up. I think we're going energy here, energy there, energy everywhere. I think we should come back to energy more closer to the end.
I something that I do want to say. I do feel bad for the Renegades.
Yeah.
That game against Veloce in the losers final.
No, they
Sticky.
lost. How they lost? It was a 9-minute free overtime, and when I saw that own goal, I think it was by Kami or something, I just died. That was so
Yeah, when
bad.
Torsos Sticky was there.
James. It was such a long overtime. Game 4, if they lost, they would have been out, and it ended like that with an own goal. Like,
but the thing is, well, I think it was Sticky who scored the own goal, and I was watching it, and
oh yeah, it was.
I was
Sticky,
watching it. And
I think it's because Torsos could have cleared it. He was just waiting to clear it, being patient, and Sticky got scared. So Torsos cleared it onto and then Sticky like dunked him.
Yeah, I saw Torsos. No, just about to hit the ball.
Yeah.
And then I realised that Sicky's on the other side. And I'm like, no, just don't be this way. And it had to go that way. And it's so.
And the series could have went either way. 2 of the games went to overtime.
And it's really unfortunate that Renegade season ended that way. An own goal.
So how do you think about South America?
South America.
I think
Loki. Congrats though. Congratulations to Loki.
I thought personally, I thought it was going to beat Dignitas. Dignitas had the run of their life, they was in the form of their life, so they couldn't have done anything about that, and had to be paired against Reciprocity, which is really hard. And even took a game with them. Just I thought the three teams underperformed, but low key, I think they done better than I thought. They beat Veloce.
I tell you what, low key. I'm saying this a lot, but NRG, their games weren't easy wins. Low-key could have won this series.
Yeah. So,
Low-key could have won that series against NRG.
Yeah. It went to overtime once, and each game, except for the last game, was a one or two goal series. James, to say something. James, Low-key beat Veloce?
Yeah.
That was South America's first win at LAN.
Congratulations to Loki, but also congratulations to Renegades for then beating Loki, because that
was another good game.
Them.
In 5 games.
Renegades, Oceania being the best.
If Loki won the other overtime, they could have swept Renegades.
Yeah.
But then again, Renegades won another series for OCE. So OCE and South America are slowly coming up. You need to remember, I think Oceania were only introduced in season 4 or 5.
Season 3.
I think it was season. Was it season 3
season
or 4?
3. But it's so hectic in those two. They're still trying to find out their best rosters. So
yeah. And then again, South America already been in RLCS for 2 seasons.
Yeah, this is the second season, so you've got to give it to them. They won a series. They did what they came here to do. So
next season, we need to remember there'll be 10 teams in Europe and North America.
That is for another episode, Joshua. So
okay, let's go back to this. So
I wanna. So we've kind of talked about things we wanted to talk about. We're already at 10 minutes in. I want to summarize groups as quickly as possible. So if you will go with Group A, and then I'll go with Group B. Just summarize what happened, and then we'll do
So the first game was Veloci vs Loki. The first. Was it? I think it was the first game. No, not the first game. Well, the first game was the first Group A. And South America got their first win in their first, the second or third game. So well done to Loki, proving South America proud by beating Veloci in 4 games. Then you have E United vs Renegades. You would expect. I thought Gonna be a closer series because Renegades are OC's first seed and E United are fourth seed. But it wasn't as close as I thought. There was one overtime. Mostly there was two goals and one and two 1-goal games. But I thought it was gonna be closer. Then we had NRG vs Loki, which NRG won in pretty convincing fashion. Obviously, they probably want to get a few more goals going into a tough Vitality match. Vitality versus E United, 3-1, not as convincing. Then again, they won goals. As I said, in goals, they only beat E United 5-4. And NRG beat 8-4, so more convincing. And then a very close series with NRG and Vitality, 3 overtimes in a 5-game thriller, you could say. E United vs Veloce, a reverse sweep by Veloce to beat E United. It was 4th seed versus 4th seed, and EU won. Loki vs Renegades, South America's 2nd seed versus Oceania's 1st seed, and very close game. And Renegades won for OCE, and Veloce vs Renegades. Very unlucky for the Renegades and OCE in general. And Veloce won in 4. So the teams making it to day 3 of LAN in Madrid was Energy, making it to the first semi-finals. Real Vitality making it in the second semi-finals, and Veloce from the lower bracket into the first semi-finals. Over to you, James.
So in Group B, which I personally think was the more unpredictable group, as it turned out to be, Space Station. I don't say this a lot, but in my opinion, they did absolutely dominate Canberra Havoc in a 12-3 scoring series in favour of Space Station. Then Dig swept the Three Sins in a 9-3 scoring series. Then Space Station beat Reciprocity when Reciprocity weren't as warmed up as Space Station was.
I will point out, Space Station scored quite a few goals. Reciprocity only scored 4 goals, only in 1 game.
The only game that the Reciprocity actually scored in was the game they won.
And Space Station scored in every single game, scoring 2 games at least each game. So pretty good, scoring quite a few goals.
Then Dignitas beat Pittsburgh Knights in 5 games. Sorry, in a 9-6 goal scoring game. Then Dig swept Space Station in a 10-3 in goals. Then in the lower bracket, Canberra Havoc went home without winning a single game in a pretty dominant fashion. It was 16-5.
I will point out though, game 3, even though it was a sweep, was really high scoring, 11 goals.
Yeah, but
probably one of the biggest amounts in LAN for this season anyway.
Yeah, that was what was it, 16-5 goals in that one?
Jared, I will point out, you don't need to say it every goal.
It's interesting. Then Reciprocity beat the Three Sins in compared to the rest of the games, I say relatively low scoring. Then Pittsburgh Knights just swept Reciprocity to make day 3 with Dig.
I will point out in Group B, it was much higher scoring than Group A. If you look in Group A, the most will probably be around 3 or 4 goals. maybe possibly 5 like here and there. Probably not. The most was probably around 4. In Group B though, there was like 7 goals in one match. I think there was with Canberra Havoc and Pittsburgh Knights.
So the people from Group B making the day 3 was Dignitas in the semi-finals. Space Station, Pittsburgh Knights then had to play in the round of 6 to have a chance to play in the semi-finals. In the playoffs, which we'll now talk about.
Wait, before we do that, let's go the first 2 players of the day. So the first player of the day was for Space Station Gaming, because for the first day, I think Space Station Gaming won both their series. They beat Reciprocity and Canberra Havoc on day 1, and that's how typical Arsenal.
Arsenal
Got day 1 MVP. Yeah, sorry. And then Justin got on day 2. I think that was when they beat Renner Vitality, and that was the only series they played that day, and that's how they qualified into the semi-finals. But what a series that was!
That was a very good series.
And then you have the grand finals. We wanted to see. I think everyone wants to see NRG versus Renner Vitality. Renner Vitality were defending their title, and what a series it was! We all wanted to see it, and when we did see it, we were amazed.
Even though we've already given away all the results pretty much, well, who won,
and that's
who made the grand finals, but I will just say, for the playoffs, Space Station beat Veloce 4-1. Vitality beat Pittsburgh Knights 4-2 in the round of 6. Then the semis was NRG versus Space Station, which was 4-1 to NRG, and then 4-3 to Vitality versus Dig in the semis, and then obviously Justin pulled through. And what if NRG?
I'm just gonna put out here, I don't know if Justin on day 2 deserved MVP, as they only played 1 series. It was a really close series.
I think.
Yes, he made.
I think Mist should have got it.
Yeah, like, because Pittsburgh Knights played 2 series, so maybe someone from there got it. Yeah. Also, and in day 3, your MVP was Turbo Pulsar, and he was also the championship MVP, the World Championship MVP, decided by all the analysts and administrators. So well done, Turbo Pulsar, getting you $5,000 US.
What I will say, what I do find interesting, day 3 didn't have the most goals. It was only by a couple goals, but day 3 didn't have the most goals, which surprised me because I thought there's less series, but
2 series,
they're longer. And we saw that there were 2 series that went to game 7. We had 2 that went game 5s, which would be not the same amount as the other ones, and 1 that went game 6. So personally, I think I expected it to have more goals, but that's how it goes. Yeah. So Turbo, day 3, I think he was really determined.
There were 32. I think there were 32 games on day 2. How many? There were
30 games played, which I guess makes sense. So I think that's what.
Yeah, but only 2 goals. It could have been much more, seeing there were like a few more games. So if they played the same amount of games and the series were closer, they would have had more goals.
Yeah, no. If they played this 2 more games, then they would have at least tied it. So yeah.
And there were a lot more overtimes on day 2. You can see, meaning the series were closer. Seeing on day 2, they were mostly seeing who would get first, second, who would make it out of the group stages into day 3.
Yeah. So if
This was a good series. LAN was very interesting.
yeah, it
You
was,
could say
it was
that.
very interesting. Josh, would you mind just quickly running us through the results of where the teams finished for us?
Who came first to
Yes.
last? Is that what you want?
Yes, please.
So I already had it on my iPad. 9th to 12th, getting $12,000
Dollars.
Canberra Havoc, the Three Sins, E United, and Loki. So in there were two teams from South America. Sadly, South America came from between 9th and 12th. One from North America, and one from the Oceania region. Surprisingly, one was from NA. It could have been both from the Oceania region. It's not too surprising, but it could have been. And then 7th to 8th getting $16,000. Reciprocity and Renegade. 5th and 6th getting $24,000, 750. They made it to day 3. It was Velocia and Pittsburgh Knights. They got knocked out in the round of 6 though. In 3rd to 4th, taking home $40,000. Space Station Gaming and Dignitas getting knocked out by NRG and Renner Vitality. 2nd place, taking home a whopping $120,000 for Renner Vitality, Fairy Peak, K-Dot, and Scrub Killer, who were last season's winner, defeating G2, obviously. And this season's winners, they made it all the way to the grand finals in season 5. They lost in the bracket set on overtime in game 7. This time I went to game 7 and they won it. I present you the winners, NRG, taking home a whopping $200,000. And also you want to see, obviously Garrett's probably very happy, and just the whole of energy, and Justin. Obviously you go on about how the biggest goal Justin scored was the one in season 5 in 0 seconds, but that may just be up there with it. I know it wasn't the best of goals, but
the job.
It won them
did
LAN.
the job. Interesting fact about Justin, actually.
Also,
interesting.
That goal was set up all by a demo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't know. But what I will say, the most interesting thing for Justin, I think, this doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like it's a thing that hasn't happened before. But he is the only person to come from the rival series and win a world championship.
Is that true?
He's the only player who's played.
What about Lucinio? Because he was in the rival series and he's already won RLCS in season 1.
No, they have the
well, technically not.
So Justin became the first player to win an RLCS World Championship after playing.
They were all on the same team. It was Lucinio. I think it may have been. It was Lucinio, Justin, someone else on the same team. Then Justin left for NRG, and now NRG have won LAN. So wrap the episode up there, I think.
Yeah, just huge congratulations to the 12 teams that made it, and that they showed up. NRG. They gave us they gave us entertainment.
Except for Reciprocity, just like
Reciprocity. Reciprocity.
KO.
Reciprocity.
What's wrong with you, Reciprocity? Come on, Short Set.
Reciprocity went to sleep. Short Set was not on it. Honestly, I think Cheeseman would have done a better job than they did.
Be honest, that was the worst performance probably I've ever seen them do.
But yeah, congratulations to NRG. You thoroughly deserved this. It's been coming for a long time.
Okay, bye everybody. See you in the next episode, and
we'll see you in the next episode. So goodbye.
Bye.